Greetings. This is a video of a plane crashing into the ocean, and we're going to talk about a mysterious plane crash that happened on Saturday, October 22nd, 2022, off the coast of Costa Rica that may or may not have looked like this. It's pretty mysterious. So in this case, the Washington Post is reporting that two bodies have been found of German nationality, and that there were 5 passengers total on this plane. And that the pilot was Swiss. The notable passenger on this plane was Schaller, and this guy is a fitness Mongol worth $250 million, and that just adds to the mystery and makes this much more high profile. This is an Italian aircraft, which we'll look more into in a minute. But first, let's look at this Googled article on this celebrity gym owner, who he is, a little bit of his backstory, and his supposed net worth. This all gives us more context into why this crash is pretty mysterious in general. So he was obviously in Costa Rica with his family, having his private plane fly him around, and he unfortunately that plane crashed, and thoughts and prayers go out to anybody who is connected to them. So let's contextualize for a minute how much money $250 million is. So 1 million in seconds is 12 days. So that's a way to conceptualize a million. So if we can put that into years, we can see that's about 8 years in money. So if he was spending a dollar every second, he could spend $215 million down in a course of 8 years. So that's, definitely not a billionaire, but $250 million is a lot of money. Here's the Wikipedia page for this aircraft. It was built in the 1980s and has been in service ever since. There's a handful of variants. I'll put links to this stuff in the description below. Here's the accident page for this model aircraft, and as we scroll down, we can see there's been 27 accidents that have been recorded from this Italian jet, and none of them up until the one that happened, on October 21st, I misspoke when I said the 22nd, had any fatalities. So this one was designated for LMO airport code in Costa Rica. So here's the accident page where we can see links to the ADS-B exchange, which has the flight information from radar tracking, or from the GPS tracker that was on this plane. And from here we can see a histogram of the flight path, which shows the flight's elevation. So this plane was definitely flying at higher elevations for a good portion of its flight until it lost elevation over the ocean and was never fully recovered. If we scroll down here, we can see the option to export KML files with geometric altitude. So I went ahead and did that. And let's take a look at what these look like in Google Earth. So here's one right here. So we're in Google Earth Pro, and we've gone Command O on Apple, and it'd be Control O on Windows, and we've opened up this file. We can see the light red overlay here First, we're going to use the ruler to check the math for the nautical miles of the crash off the coast, and that is a little over 18.4, 34.08 kilometers. Now we can adjust this slider here to see the flight path, and we're going to use our mouse here to adjust this view so that we can get a better idea of what the descent looked like, the final descent of this aircraft. So that's what we're doing now. We're just tilting that down, and so we can see where the flight path this airplane takes as it goes from flying to crashing in the ocean. So this is just the data we have from the ADSB exchange uploaded into Google Earth. So just playing with this toggle here to kind of see how this plane flies out into the ocean heading east and then curves around and dives in. It's really, really mysterious because I don't know why they would have taken this flight path. It looks like a fairly sudden loss of altitude. It's not a dive, but it's definitely a quick descent. And, especially when they're so close to land, like if there was a mechanical problem, wouldn't they be able to glide to land? I'd be curious what some of other aviators could simulate in Microsoft Flight Simulator with this flight. See if that glide path would be possible. Looking here, there's national forest, we can see, or a public land of some sort, and a coastline. So we can see the flight coming in here, heading southeast, and then crash landing. Zooming in, we can see a beach, forested trees, rivers flowing into the ocean, and then agricultural land. We can see where these lines of crops. Looking at this crash in Gaia GPS, unfortunately, off the coast of Costa Rica, there's not a lot of other layers we can add and actually see flight information or nautical charts to see how deep the water is in this location. However, we can see this elevation profile pretty easily, and this is what's interesting is, this plane was cruising at around 35,000 feet. It descended to 14,000 feet as it started to come across this ocean here, and then quickly descended again into the ocean from 14,000 feet to sea level. So max elevation, 35,000 feet, and then our total time was 1 hour and 41 minutes. So again, this is just a very mysterious plane crash. I'd be really curious as to what the flight recorder data will show, if it's ever recorded or ever found, and the story that could be told or added to the investigation from that data. If you're looking at this airplane crash and wondering what happened, or if you have theories on what happened, please let me know in the comments below. I find this pretty high profile crash much more mysterious than a crash where we can see a crash site, like if it happens on land, or a crash where we are able to recover wreckage, including cockpit recorder data. In any case, that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you around.